What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name's Aiko. Today we're talking about the new aim ease in setting in Overwatch and how you can utilize it and my personal best aim settings for the game now that this update has rolled out. Let's check it out. So here's the forum post here. Again, I'll have it in the description below if you guys are interested in it. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to read it or whatever. But moving on, we need to look at some graphs, so I hope you guys paid attention in math class. It's really going to help out here. So when it comes to aiming, think of it like this. It's very easy to think about. When you're holding your controller and you start looking around using your aiming stick, you know, say you're slowly pushing it outward further and further, faster and faster. So you're giving it a input by the degree your thumb is at, and when you're giving it that input, you're also getting a certain output value. These values have three different modes. We know dual zone, exponential ramp is another one, and linear ramp is the newest one. Now, aim ease in mainly only applies to linear ramp. You don't really want to mess with this setting when you're on exponential ramp. You get very, very weird aiming curves, and it just gets really ugly. So I recommend only using linear ramp if you're going to be making adjustments to your aim ease in. So looking at this graph here, this is all based off of this linear line. And what is the equation of a line that's linear like this? In this instance, we can assume it's just y equals x, just up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. What this graph is, we start at the dead zone and we work our way all the way to the top, which is as far as we can push our analog stick, which ends at 1.0 and 1.0 output. So let's pay attention to only this blue line really quickly here. Don't pay attention to any of these curved lines. We're going to be looking at our input value on the x-axis. So when you're on linear ramp, aim ease 0. So we're going to start off in the dead zone and slowly push the stick further and further out, and immediately our output takes off. This means by the slightest change of your thumb, it's going to start taking off immediately, and the further out you go, the faster your screen and your hero is going to turn, all the way until you can't turn any faster. That is what linear ramp is. Very consistent, feels great. Thank you, Blizzard. Now, Blizzard doesn't really tell you which line represents what here, but all of these lines are linear ramp. The only difference is the aim ease values. So let's look at this bright yellow line. This line is what you can assume to be aim ease 100. We start at the dead zone, push further, further, further out. Finally, we get some output values. We finally start turning a little bit more, and then we keep going further and further out, slowly, gradually. Finally, about here is when we finally get some serious speed. So after about halfway out, we get some serious speed until about, 80 or more, and then that's just when we finally just finish off. This gets pretty linear here, so you'll have very weird speeds when you play at aim ease in at 100, because you're going to get delayed, then you're going to get a big pickup of speed right around here, and then finish off as you normally would in a general sense. And the reason behind this is because aim ease changes the exponent in the equation of the line. So when you change your exponent, that's going to change how the line curves. This is also why linear ramp usually plays at a lower sensitivity, because when you're on exponential ramp, for example, you have a curved line on exponential ramp, and your output values are kind of delayed and a lot slower, as you can see in these curves. And that's why a lot of people on exponential ramp will have higher sensitivity, and people on linear will have a lower sensitivity. So this red line represents a lower aim ease in option. Let's say it represents about 30 or so. This is a lot better because a lot of people didn't like linear ramp because as soon as you started pushing, it felt a little too fast. This led people to believe or prove that there was some sort of weird dead zone issue that linear ramp had, because as soon as you even touch the thumbstick, that baby is moving. So in this sense, aim ease in has sort of fixed that weird jerky feel of linear ramp. So if you turn your aim ease in anywhere from like 10 to 30 maybe, it's a lot better because you have a delay, right? You input a little bit and there's a small delay, not a large delay, a small delay in the beginning to help compensate for that jerkiness. And as you continue, it's not a very curved line, it's actually fairly linear. So it feels as consistent as linear ramp normally would, but it helps a bit at the beginning to, you know, dull down the beginning jerkiness there. And this is the aim option that I've gone with, so let's check it out. I kind of want to just show you guys what it's feeling like. So I've always been on exponential ramp, and the aim ease setting before that existed was always set to 0. So let's go to soldier. And ever since they've added this option, I have started changing it, and now I'm on linear ramp, and I do an aim ease at about 28, because previously, let's just turn it down. Previously, linear ramp is a little bit jerky, a little too jerky when you come out of the dead zone. Like, it's very hard to make small adjustments, because like I mentioned in that graph, as soon as you touch the thumbstick, it's very, your outputs are being hit immediately. It's very jerky, hard to aim with, but the rest of it feels very consistent, because as you guys have seen in the graph, it's a straight line, so it just feels consistent all the way till the end. Just the beginning outside of that dead zone is a little strange. So what I did to compensate for that is, of course, I put a little aim ease in. I put that up a little bit. So I've been after doing a bunch of testing, I've turned mine up to about 28 is what I've had it at. And as I showed in that red line on that graph, this kind of gives it enough of a small delay to kind of fix that jerkiness. Now you guys can kind of mess with it however you guys want to, but as of right now, I think this is definitely the best option for most heroes. I've played on Zenyatta, Lucio, so I did a lot of projectile heroes, hit scan heroes, Widowmaker, scoped, non-scoped, and this linear ramp 28 aim ease in has done me a lot better than just the linear ramp by itself. So I think it's worth checking out, you guys. I do also want to shout out another console YouTuber who goes by the YouTube name of Chit Chat. He originally came to me with the idea of this whole video, so if you guys didn't really understand what I was trying to explain in this video, he also made his own explaining the same thing. I'll maybe link it at the top right, or maybe in the description below, maybe both, just so you guys can check it out. He does good. He's a good console YouTuber as well, so definitely check out his channel. And for those wondering, this is pretty much the settings I have for all my heroes as of right now. A pretty low sensitivity and all of that stuff. These settings right here are perfect, I would say. Pretty much perfect for a first-person shooter. I think it feels really good. Hit scan, projectile, whatever it is, these are the settings I'm going to be using. Maybe tweak them a little bit, but that's what it is. So I do just want to thank you guys for watching and checking out the video. I had many requests to do this video, so I'm happy to do it for you guys. I hope this explained it. It's gonna take a little bit getting used to this whole new linear ramp aim ease stuff, but I think it's gonna be for the better. It feels really consistent and really good, so I think you guys should try it out. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. I will catch you guys in the next one. My name is Aiko. Peace.